Mike Tyson's journey in boxing was filled with glory from early stages when he claimed the title of the youngest heavyweight champion in history. With over 30 consecutive victories, he finally encountered a boxer who was not intimidated by the aggressive figure he represented in the ring. Welcome to a video where we will narrate the events of that astonishing morning when Tyson ceased to be invincible in the eyes of the world, and a fight that seemed lost from the first round. James "Buster" Douglas fell victim to the most potent weapon against a boxer, underestimation. Since the match began to be publicized, no one believed Douglas had a chance against the mighty Iron Mike in terms of strength, power, and necessary endurance to secure victory. Lack of faith was compounded by the tragic death of his mother due to a stroke on January 18th, just 23 days before the bout. Die-hard fans and sports analysts considered Douglas's mother as his central piece, emphasizing the possibility that his mind might not be as focused as needed to defeat the beast that was Mike Tyson in the ring. However, immediately after his mother's funeral, James Douglas returned to training with a new motivation: to honor his name. Those who truly knew him claimed to witness a dedication never before reached by the boxer, who already saw himself as the last man standing in a war that had left many bodies on the canvas. The fight took place on February 11, 1990, at the Tokyo Dome in Tokyo, Japan, with Octavio Marin as the referee, and Ken Morita, Larry Rosadilla, and Masakazu Uchida as judges. It was Tyson's 10th defense of the World Boxing Council heavyweight title, the 9th for the World Boxing Association heavyweight title, and the 7th for the International Boxing Federation heavyweight title. Entering the fight against Douglas, Tyson was already scheduled to face Evander Holyfield, the number 1 contender for the WBA, on June 18th in Atlantic City. Right in the front row of the Douglas match, Holyfield could be seen, studying his future opponent. James Douglas held a modest record of 29 victories, 19 of them by knockout, 4 losses, and 1 draw. But compared to Tyson, modesty seemed to be a bad sign. Iron Mike, the punching machine, entered the ring undefeated with 37 victories, 33 by knockout. From the start of the first round, Tyson aggressively attacked Douglas, who refused to be subdued under any pressure.
Keep in mind that Carl Williams looked pretty loose and relaxed against Tyson.
At the end of the round, Mike still couldn't decipher the ideal fighting rhythm to dominate the match as he was accustomed to.
Another right hand lead by Douglas.
That was a good round for Douglas.
Tyson's problems escalated during the second round when he was occasionally hurt by powerful combinations, and he struggled to counter appropriately. Throwing himself at Douglas, Iron Mike seemed intent on buying time to enter the next round with a better strategy. By the third round, it was evident that Douglas was taming the beast. Marin warned Tyson not to go to Douglas's body, urging him to keep the distance for a clean fight. However, this was the only way to avoid the severe attacks he was enduring. During the fourth round, Tyson didn't necessarily find himself in the eye of the storm. With a scattered offense and increasingly infrequent attacks, Buster seized every small opportunity to land a precise blow to Mike's head or upper body.
Last 2 weeks, he's been bothered by respiratory, extremely close to his mother. Right hand by Douglas, right on Tyson's chin.
In the midst of the break before the fifth round, a faint smile could be seen on Holyfield's face. Tyson's ongoing struggles fueled his hope of being the next to tame the wild animal perceived in Iron Mike in the ring. As the fifth round progressed, Tyson's left eye began to swell, but his corner did not have an inswell, a metal piece applied to reduce swelling, affecting the visibility of the still undefeated champion.
Another right hand, and now Tyson seems to be wobbled. Mike is not throwing back.
The news is Buster Douglas always fights his best against the best opponents.
The sixth and seventh rounds only served to further dampen Tyson's fighting spirit. Holyfield, sitting ringside, witnessed Tyson's rough patch, increasing his hope of being the next to tame the seemingly invincible Iron Mike.
would be in an uproar right now.
Here they are.
Tyson's terrible punishment seemed to be nearing its end when, 10 seconds before the end of the 8th round, he knocked down Douglas, who fell backward to the canvas and struggled to get up while hearing the safety count sponsored by Marin.
The action inside.
And Tyson is holding on.
Confident fighter now. You see how easily Douglas is done.
Against the ropes, I've never seen.
And there's a right hand uppercut, and down goes Douglas. And suddenly
Tyson's joy after what could be the most unexpected and hopeful knockdown in history would be short-lived when Douglas regained control of the fight again in the 9th round. All of Iron Mike's aggressiveness, gained after the close of the previous round, was nullified by the determination of a rival who had no fear of his intimidation techniques. This leads us to the unimaginable. During the 10th round, Douglas hurt Tyson with a right hook, followed by a combination that ended with a powerful left punch that knocked Tyson down for the first time in his career. Tyson fell heavily on his back on the canvas, while everyone present went wild.
that will finish things in.
Oh, the uppercut.
What an uppercut by Douglas, and down goes Tyson.
Despite trying to get up during the safety count, his legs remained shaky, lacking the strength to carry the weight of his recently shattered pride. Thus, at 1 minute and 22 seconds of the 10th round, Tyson lost to James Douglas by knockout. Many argue that Mike Tyson was the only one who could defeat himself that night when he decided not to train as he should, acting as if he didn't care about the fight. According to some sources, reports from Tokyo were sufficient to question whether the Great Iron Mike was sabotaging his reign, described as slow after a sparring session, or being knocked down by a right hand weeks before the bout. It was also mentioned that Tyson had chosen cornermen who were not experienced enough. However, accepting these statements as true would be robbing James "Buster" Douglas of the credit for his knockout victory. If you've made it this far, we want to thank you and remind you that the best way to support our content is always by liking our videos and subscribing by activating the notification bell. Tell us, do you believe Tyson's lack of discipline was his greatest enemy that morning in Tokyo, or had Douglas genuinely prepared to defeat Mike no matter what? We'll read your comments.
Last 2 weeks, he's been bothered by respiratory, extremely close to his mother. Right hand by Douglas, right on Tyson's chin. The action inside.
And Tyson is holding on.
Confident fighter now. You see how easily Douglas is done.
Against the ropes, I've never seen.
And there's a right hand uppercut, and down goes Douglas. And suddenly
We'll finish things in. Oh, the uppercut.
What